So we're exploring MCP in this series. What is MCP? MCP is a very brief introduction. It's model context protocol. It's a communication protocol that was developed by Anthropic to act as a middle layer between LLMs and applications. The inspiration behind this protocol layer is the fact that LLMs are better suited to understand natural language prompts, whereas applications throw out technical jargon in its output. For example, if you have an application that returns the current temperature, current weather details in a city, right? Like you pass in a city name and it returns some weather details. The application would output something in the form of maybe like a JSON body, maybe some sort of object structure, which would involve the weather details. Maybe include some other metadata as well, like such as like which endpoint it hit and how long it took and all that stuff, right? But not necessarily in a manner that is easily understood by the LLM, because as I said, LLMs understand natural language prompts like human-like interactions. And so this idea of middle layer MCP protocol, which essentially the idea is that it will take in input from the LLM, convert it, and then interact with the application as needed, and then get the application output, convert it into something which is easily understood by the LLM, and then pass it back to the LLM so that it can better use it, make use of the output in a better way. So in this series, we'll gradually go step by step as we explore MCPs. In this first video, we'll just explore the tools aspect of the MCPs. First of all, we'll just start with the MCP server side. We'll not even worry about the MCP client. So quickly, MCP is like it has this client server architecture where the client and the server interact with each other to come up with like the actual results. The client is usually so one thing to keep in mind is the LLM part, the intelligence part, is usually on the client side. Now there are some features, recent features, MCP sampling, which allows you to start building intelligence on the server side as well, but that's besides the point. We can forget about that right now. The LLM client essentially will be on the MCP client. LLM agent will be on the MCP client, right? Client side. So on the server side, we do not have to worry about any LLM related things. We just have to worry about figuring out how to best implement the protocol such that the output generated from the application can be easily understood by the LLM instance, right? So we'll start off simple. What we'll do is we'll create a very simple MCP server with one tool. I'll add some links. Basically the server file, the MCP server file that I'll be creating right now will basically be inspiration from the MCP GitHub repo, the examples that they're using. I'll attach the corresponding links, but yeah, let's go for it. I'm also using another tool which we'll talk about later, but let's start with this right now. Again, like I'll attach the link for the tool as well in the description. So let's what we'll do is like we'll just create a quick file, right? Name it testserver.py, right? And then what we'll do is get the server ready. So I have some code already ready, so I'll be referring to that as well. But essentially, yeah, so I'll probably add some descriptions and all that stuff from one of my prepared files, but essentially, yeah, let's type it out. So first we add a description, right? Which talks about what our MCP server is all about, right? Let's just make some changes. We'll just have one tool to start off with, right? And then that's it. So that's the description, right? So next we import Fast MCP. So from Fast MCP, import Fast MCP, right? And you can see it's already coming up with some examples. We are using the so we'll just create a test server and just give it a test name, test Fast MCP Server, right? And then what we'll do is we'll create the tool, right? We just have one tool, so at mcp.tool, that's that identifies it as that function as a tool. And then we'll just have a simple addition function, right? Define add numbers, and that's it. We'll delete this thing, delete anything else, right? Yeah, and then we'll add some good description for that, because again we are working with MCP servers, so good descriptions are always like preferred, because this description that I just added will tell the LLM agent, the client on the client side, how to use this tool, when to use this tool, right? Like it's basically a description of the tool telling the LLM how and when to use the tool. So without, like, if you don't have a good description, the LLM would not have a good understanding of how to use this tool or when to use this tool, right? So we have the MCP prepared, and what we'll do now is we'll just quickly run, it's a Python file, so we'll just run UV run. We're using UV, so UV run Python test server.py. Oh, we didn't add the main section, so yeah, we'll have to make it so that if it is run, like if it is not called from somewhere else, it can run. That's it. Let's add some print statements just for decorative purposes, just to make things look cleaner. But yeah, that's more or less it. And then let's run it again. So we can see our MCP server starts up correctly, right? Which is amazing. So it's saying the test Fast MCP server. Yeah, that's amazing. But now how do we actually understand how to work with the tools, right? So for that, let's use a tool. So what I'll do is, and I'll add again, like I'll add the link for this tool as well. But what you can do is you can use this tool, right? So this is again, like, it's based on MCP-use client. It's basically using MCP-use client to connect to MCP server instance and get all the details from the server and help you interact with it. The good thing about this tool is, like, it really helps you visualize how the MCP server is interacting with your client without having to worry about the client side, right? At this point, we just want to learn about the server. We have a very simple server. We have one tool. So first, let's add the server. Just take a few steps. Let's call it test MCP server. We'll call it UV run test server.py. Or actually, I did a mistake here. It's UV then run Python test server.py, right? Add, and then let's see if we can connect it. So we can connect to it. We see there are no resources. expected, no prompts expected, one tool, which is also expected, right? Let's quickly check the notifications. We see that added server test MCP, connecting to test MCP, connected to test MCP. If we look at the raw interactions, this is very important, raw interactions. What happens immediately when you connect with the server without having to do anything? We can see that the moment the client, or rather the server, connects with the client immediately makes a few requests. It looks for the prompts that are available, it looks for the tools that are available, and it looks for the resources that are available, both static and template resources, right? And then because of this because of these requests, you start getting back results, and that's when it says that, okay, there are 0 prompts, and then it says that, okay, like I have this one tool. And again, like you can see why the description is important, because that tells the LLM how to use this tool. And then finally, you see that there are no resources, there are no resource templates, and then that's it. Basically, you have the details, right? And that gives the client an immediate understanding of not only what the MCP server contains, but how to use each and every component of that MCP server, right? Which is very important because you want the LLM to know this. So this is great, but what happens when we want to actually use the tool? So let's use the tool. So let's select the tool, let's pass in 3, and then let's pass in 5, execute tool, and it says the answer is 8. Now let's look at the raw interactions. So it says that it called the method tools call, parameters add params, argument a, b, and then it comes back with the answer 8 and text 8, right? And that's how you use it. So we'll end it here. Feel free to ask any questions in the comment section. I'll try my best to answer them. Again, I'll add some links for reference, which you can follow up. I'll be releasing a few more videos as we continue to explore all the capabilities of MCP together as a community. I just believe that MCPs have just been so underexplored, and they have so much more capabilities, and I believe I have found some interesting results working with them, and just excited to share it with all of you. So yeah, thank you. Hope to see you guys soon. Cheers.